Making an Effective Lesson Plan by D'Angelo Bridges. Have you become overwhelmed by what you want your students to know? Is that stress inducing? We've all been there before. Fret not though. I can help you so that you can look like the guy on the right, not the guy on the left. Combining your goals, objectives, and assessments into your teaching practices is essential to teaching effectively and having a positive effect on your students' learning outcomes. This tutorial will give you some tips on how to create an effective lesson plan to push beyond the stress of trying to figure out how to lesson plan effectively. What you should do is have the end result in mind. In other words, when you start planning, know what you want your students to be able to accomplish at the end of the unit and work toward that goal in each lesson. One way to do this is to break down all major projects into their basic components. For instance, if you want students to create literacy narratives, you will need to think about which readings and activities would help students develop strong literacy narratives. They will need to know what a literacy narrative is and how it functions, and they will also need examples if they've never done one or if they've never seen one before. To develop a lesson plan that is effective, you should create learning goals for each class meeting. Generally, you want to have at least one goal and no more than 3. One of the ways you might do this is by creating SMART goals for yourself. The key to making strong lesson plans, for me, is by creating SMART goals that are easy to understand, achievable, and have a clear point of success. Creating SMART goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and need to be time-bound. But the biggest complaint is always that there isn't enough time to do all you need to. How do we put this idea into practice though, so we're not sitting in front of our computers for hours on end? One of the ways is by creating SMART goals. My goal for this particular lesson is to give every instructor who watches this video a clear understanding of how to create effective lesson plans, and it is measurable because the instructors will create well-developed lesson plans. It's attainable because instructors will use this tutorial as a basis for how to develop a lesson plan that works for them and is relevant for instructors who are in need of assistance in creating effective lesson plans. It's time-bound because teachers will have the way of using this video to help them. Now that you have some information on planning, it should be a lot easier for you to lesson plan and you can get some more sleep at night. Good luck.
Created using Powtoon.